Good stuff.
Good stuff.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Crystallize YouTube event. Today, I'm here with Håkon and Brendan.
Hello.
Yep. Say hi. Great. Today, we'll be talking about how we can, I think we made a new iteration. You know that we have launched a search API. So there has been an integration to our previous Gatsby boilerplates. And we're here today to showcase the changes and essentially how you can get started and tweak and play around with it, etc., etc. So Håkon will be actually showing us these steps to get started, at least. So yeah, I think Håkon, the stage is yours.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so we are really excited with this new search API that we've been working on for quite some time. We did a stream last week, I think, or was it a couple of weeks ago?
2 weeks ago, I think.
With Brendan, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, where where we introduced the API and we showcased it being used in the next JS boilerplate, which we also have. But I think it's worth the time for sure to do this in Gatsby too, because I know there's a lot of Gatsby fan boys out there, and
not just boys. I'm here to correct.
Can we say fan persons?
Yeah,
fans.
Crystallize fans. Crystallize fans.
All right. So I'm gonna share my screen and I'm gonna walk you through how to first off set up a clean Gatsby boilerplate with Crystallize. I'm gonna show you where the search bit is included and how we do that, and then I'm gonna sort of end with deploying this whole thing to Gatsby Cloud in the end. So let me just share my screen. I'm gonna select this one. Okay. I think I got it.
Yeah, you did. Great job. First step done.
Right. Okay. So in order to get started with the Gatsby boilerplate, what we advise people to do is to use our CLI tool to get started, because that bootstraps the entire application for you in some easy steps. So what you do, you run npx crystallize CLI, and if you want, you can specify a folder name. So let's say my Gatsby project, and it will install the global CLI command and execute that. And well, we just have to be patient for a few seconds until it's ready. So, anyone know a good song? No? Oh, silence is always the best response to jokes. All right, so I'm gonna go with Gatsby here as the boilerplate. I'm gonna select the default furniture tenant because it's what we usually use in all these demos. You can have, if you have your own tenant, you would specify it here. I'm not going to do multiple languages this time. I think we did a separate stream on that. And now in the background, it's essentially copying this repository and setting up the proper config to support the tenant that you used. Again, this is really just a matter of waiting. And
I think we should take some time and appreciate the design of the new CLI, like as many times as we show it.
Right. Yeah. So you can have a stop and sort of read some blog posts, or comics. Like we've got some comics every week if you're into that. So we realized that doing npm installs or yarn installs, it always takes a bit of time. So it's nice to read some comics in the meanwhile.
Appreciate the details.
Yeah. I wish we could sort of speed up this live stream somehow. I don't know how we could do that.
People can do that. We should have like a timer, like go there to watch magic.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just going to close this down.
So this is essentially an iteration, right? Because I know I haven't used it personally, but we have had a Gatsby boilerplate up for quite some time now.
Yes, we have, and it is really a like Next.js. It enables you to do React applications that get statically generated, so it delivers quite good performance in the end. So okay, so it's done now. Let's go ahead. Let's have a look at it. So my Gatsby project, I can open Visual Studio Code. We'll just verify that things looks like they should. I got my furniture tenant ID here, and then I can do it using yarn here. I'm just running dev to boot up the project. So because I'm going to get this on Gatsby Cloud, I also want to initiate my own new repository for this, because I want to connect GitHub to Gatsby Cloud later. So we can do that now while it boots up. My Gatsby project, I'm just using my personal GitHub account. It can be public, sure. So, and then I'm just gonna copy all this, guys. Oh, I haven't git init first. There we go. Oh, no, all right. Well, I think it's ready. So we'll have a look to see how this works. We did a Gatsby stream before, so I'm not going to go into details on the other things that are not search related. So let's focus on the search bit. So we introduced this magnifying icon up here, the universal sign that there's search available. And this one does exactly what you would expect to do. So it will search across your entire catalog of things. So doing chair, it will find anything matches chair. That's folders, that's documents, and that's products, like all of them. And you can hit enter to go to a dedicated search page that would give you the result in a more detailed manner. And you can also limit the results a bit here on the left-hand side. So I can also dive into how this was set up, because in reality, it's using a new API that we designed, which we've put on a new URL. So it's no longer, it's not on the catalog, it's on /search. And maybe Brendan, you want to talk a bit about the structure of search and how this would work?
Sure, yeah. So for the basic search that's located at the top of the Gatsby boilerplate, for example, that's a very simple search query using only one filter. That's the search term, and the search term is a filter that can be provided as an argument to the search query. So there you've got your filter object, and within that you've got a whole bunch of filters. So the search term is the most basic one, which filters or searches over the name of the product, of the variant, of the other items as well. And it also looks at other fields, not just the name. It also looks at the path, the topics associated with it, and a few other fields as well that I can't remember just off the top of my head. And then as we build up more sophisticated queries to provide the more filter approach search here. So the top field in this, the text field there, is just, again, the search term query filter. But below that, you've got the price range filter, which allows you to specify the range in which, so this is on the price product variants. You can specify the price range. And this sort of specifies or narrows down the range in which the products that you are fetching can be, what prices they can have. And that provides a good way to filter on that. Again, in the sidebar for the boilerplate, there is the ability to toggle the attributes of a product. So in this case, there's only one product that really has attributes associated with it, and that is 3 variants, black, blue, and green, of the Big Bowl lounge chair. And to do filtering on this, you can again add a filter to the product variants, where you can search on attributes, and you can add in the name of the attribute. So it's an array where you add in the values that you want, which is an array of strings, and the attribute, which is the key of the attribute. So in this case, you can search for attribute color with the values of, say, blue and black, or whatever, if you would like.
Yeah.
You will need to remove the price range query for that.
Probably, yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
So we've gone into detail on how to use the search on in our previous stream. So check that out if you want to get to know this even more. So the search API is actually really interesting for Gatsby because of Gatsby's static nature. So Gatsby builds your files or your pages build time and serves them. So once you've got a deployment of Gatsby, it's all really static. They got incremental builds and all, but in reality, it's just a whole bunch of HTML files and CSS and JavaScript files. So the introduction of the search API enables you to create dynamic pages like this, where you could interact with them, and this is a really neat feature and provides something special for our Gatsby boilerplate. We've also got stuff like, this search page can be mixed with our regular pages. So we've demonstrated how these pages work in the past, but this is essentially just pulling content data from Crystallize and just showcasing that in a pretty way. So this is if you check the corresponding item in Crystallize, this would be a folder that has sub items to it. It's actually folders that have other folders within it. So this is a shop folder. It has, for instance, chairs folder. If you click the chair folder, this is still just a folder, but in the boilerplate, in the Gatsby boilerplate, we check for each folder if it has a whole lot of products. And if it does have a whole lot of products, we will just inject the search component within this page so that you get a mix, like a beautiful category landing pages for e-commerce. And I know this is something that our clients want, Stavros.
That is true. I think that there's like multiple ways of building this categorization, right? Because with the search now, you can either build your folders or your navigation bars based on the catalog of Crystallize that you have in Crystallize, or you can just use search to essentially just build on dynamically your results based on, or your navigation bar based on generated topics. So, it's yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, I'm going to show you also a bit of the code that creates this. So essentially, everything here is determined in the Gatsby node file, and in here, we will fetch all the folders, and then just give me a second. We're going to check if it's a folder and it has mostly products in it, essentially just counting the children of this folder. And if it has, well, we're going to show this search component instead. So if you don't want that, you can always just take that away entirely. If you don't need it, fine. If you don't want that kind of behavior for folders, then this would be the other kind of behavior, just listing the items in a tile view. Right.
So apart from that, is the general structure of the boilerplate similar or same to the one that we had shown in the past, or?
Yeah, for the Gatsby boilerplate, yes. This has basically just been added.
Yeah. I mean, people can refer to previous video as well to just check out how it looks like and where they can change stuff.
Yeah, the rest of the boilerplate stays the same as it always has been. Like the way the routes are defined and the way that these pages are rendered, that's all the same. So while I get this project into Git, I faced some issues. Maybe I don't want to share that. Maybe this is a good opportunity for Brendan, if you wanted, to talk a bit more about the different kind of aggregations and filters that we have on search.
Sure, yeah. So the most common use cases for these filters will be to provide the options in the sidebar. So, for example, when you make the price range query, you want to see, like, you want to be able to know within that slider, for example, which options you can have as the minimum and maximum values in the UI. And so there's an aggregation that you can fetch on the within the search query, which allows you to get the maximum and minimum price of the entire result set. So that's not just the page, like the first 10 results that you're getting. That's the entire set of results that match your search query. So that way you can say, oh, the product with the lowest price has a price of, say, $100, and the maximum price of this result set is $300. So you know already that the maximum and minimum values of your slider in the sidebar can be those two numbers. Similarly, for the attributes, there's an aggregation to fetch all of the attributes on all of the variants within the result set as a total. So that way you can easily filter down again, as we showed in the sidebar of the Gatsby boilerplate just before, all of the different attributes that you can toggle to see the different fields, to see the different product matching those results.
Yep.
And then there's also the total results aggregation, which shows you all of the number of results in the result set.
Yeah. That's really, it's really powerful, and really gives you all the tools that you need in your toolbox to create a really advanced and a fully featured search feature on your e-commerce. Well, you can obviously use this for non-e-commerce purposes too, of course. That's a given. All right. Anyways, thank you for that, Brendan. I got my changes pushed up now to GitHub, and it's available for everyone who wants to see it here. So if I want to deploy this, we have previously done deployments on Vercel. There's an example on how to do it on Netlify, but I want to show you how to get it on Gatsby Cloud. So you need to create an account on Gatsby Cloud, which I've done. It's just empty right now. And you can use a free plan. They have a free tier plan that you can use for these kind of projects. So let's get my thing up there in Gatsby Cloud. So I'm going to start from a Git repository. I'm going to go with GitHub. I already approved my my user, so I'm going to go with my Gatsby boilerplate project. If you haven't already approved Gatsby Cloud to read from your GitHub repo, you will be prompted to do so here. So the default settings are fine. I'm just going to leave them at that. And then now I'm going to skip integrating with stuff because we already did that. We might want to launch some more helper things with us in the future, Stavros.
Yep.
That'd be interesting. So
Will do.
I'm gonna. So it will automatically try to, it will prompt you for which tenant to use. So I'm just gonna use furniture, and then now it's gonna be ready to build. I don't think it automatically does a build, so we can trigger a build right now. And this will take just a few seconds. So in the meanwhile, while it builds, I can show you a bit more of the code on how we got the search bit into Gatsby, because it is a different API than the catalog API, and that's because they're doing totally different things. The catalog API is the richest API in terms of response. You get everything you want from Crystallize by using the catalog API. The search API allows you to really search for things in an easier manner, but it will just give you a reduced set of data back that's appropriate for micro formats on the web. But it's not what you would use to display let's say a product page, for instance. It's not what you would use to find out all the different routes you want to create for your site. So that's for the catalog API. So I've got another thing in my config settings here to enable the search API, because we've got our first one as a GraphQL source, and we're using the Gatsby source GraphQL plugin for this. And we're telling it that it should read from the catalog, and it's the same plugin once more to read from the search. And the way that the queries work, we can check out the page templates for search. It is really just redoing the same queries that we were showcasing in the playground. So it's essentially copy pasting from the playground. So this is my go-to place to do my initial GraphQL schema setup, and then I'll just copy paste shamelessly from here to my code. It's good copy pasting. Isn't it the way you guys do it too?
Yeah, I'm not sure if everyone agrees, but some may say copy pasting is bad and leads to errors, but
well,
it's a good base at least.
not
it
in
is
this
a good
case.
base.
Yeah,
it is a good base.
Not in this case. Here you test your results.
Yeah, right. So in addition to that, we have some sensible defaults for how to structure the search page. And for the for someone out there, let's see, we have it running. No, I stopped it. I just want to see how we construct things here, because if you are using search and you're sort of diving into the details, you're narrowing down your search results, and you find something very useful, then it's very important for the developer to remember, well, if the user has found something, we need to ensure that if they refresh the page, send this link to someone else, that they see the same thing. So it's really important not just to keep the state, like the search state, in the memory of the browser. You have to use a different approach, and a good old-fashioned one too. I'm going to show you real quick. So let's say that I found a good range of chairs like this one, and you want to copy paste this link to your partner, because this is the chair you want for your living room. Then if you check out the URL I got here, I've got a good old query parameters here to that we use for specifying search. So if I refresh the page, it will read from the query parameters and apply that to the search result. It's obviously very standard stuff, but having this built in, which means that you don't have to worry about it. This is something that we will just provide to you, and it will guide you in the right direction. I see some applications not doing this, and that's a shame. The same thing goes for stuff like pagination. If you go to the next page, you'll see that the URL updates, and if you refresh this page, you should see that one. You will see the first page for a brief second, and this is due to the nature of Gatsby, because that's statically generated. We can't really change that. And once the page loads, then we apply this new filter. Let's go ahead and see how Gatsby Cloud is doing. Oh, we're getting an error.
Oh, great.
Oh no. Well, we're not gonna do a Gatsby Cloud, and I did something bad apparently. So we're not gonna end with that today. Maybe that's another stream. We'll
yeah, maybe.
Oh, fantastic! Ending with an error.
Live demos.
Yeah, live demos.
But my GitHub is at least there, and should be working just fine. So for anyone who's interested, you can check that out. But this is essentially a clean copy of our getting started boilerplate for Gatsby.
Awesome. Thank you guys for showing us and letting us know what's up with the Gatsby boilerplate. So I think this is pretty much it. For, as you know, everyone that has anything to ask about either the boilerplate or anything else, we're always available. Well, not always, but you know where to find us in our Slack community channel. So I will have links in the description for documentation on the search API and some other things. Maybe the Gatsby stuff is already there, of course. But anything you need, feel free to reach out. We'll be there to listen and answer your questions. Hopefully you'll meet us again in the next YouTube Live event. So have a nice day, have a nice evening, at least from Greece. And see you in the next one.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.